Welcome to Scorched Earth and a general mid-month reading for the sign of Sagittarius, Sun, Moon and Descendant for the last 2 weeks of December. I hope you're well. I can barely believe it's December. Like, what? 2020 has been the longest and shortest year of my life so far. I'm sure many of you will feel the same. So, speaking of 2021, which I sort of wasn't, but now I am, I put together a 6-month overview from January to June 2021 for each of the signs. If you're interested in that, there's a link down in the description box. They're going up gradually, but they are very long. They're hour plus. So if it's not quite there yet, keep coming back and checking because they're getting uploaded. If you're interested to see the main themes, collective energy for those 6 months, it's maybe worth having a look at. So anyway, using the Llewellyn deck for you today, which is interesting. So let's get 3 cards for Sagittarius, please. 3 cards for Sagittarius. First is the Ten of Wands. Sagittarius. The Six of Wands. And the Tower. Interesting. Now, I don't get a bad feeling off this Tower at all, I have to say. And I actually don't get a particularly present feeling off this Tower. But let's get a couple of clarifiers just to have a look. And that Ten of Wands the wrong way around the deck. Tell me about this Tower, please. Why is the Tower here for Sagittarius? Why is the Tower here for Sagittarius? Devil in reverse. Amazing. Yeah, like it doesn't feel like a particularly present energy. Like, I'm asking about your current energy, but actually what this looks like is a period of contemplation that you're in at the moment, Sagittarius. So we've got this Ten of Wands. Last year was really hard for you. It was really, really hard, and actually it didn't let up that much at the beginning of this year. I'm not talking about anything that's been going on outside at all, talking about what was going on in here and in your very close relationships. They were burdensome. No, absolutely burdensome, and you made some very difficult decisions at the beginning of the year, but I actually feel like they've paid off better than you could have imagined, actually, because right in the center we've got this Six of Wands. There's something different about you now, Sagittarius. Like, your bearing is different to how it was last year. You have changed quite dramatically, and the way that you've changed actually is to stop trying to fit in with what other people wanted. It's sort of by not changing. It's by being resolute. The Ace of Cups was the card that was the wrong way around there. We talked a little bit, it was the last reading or the reading before, I can't remember, they're all blurring into each other now, about this this thing that you had noticed about yourself, right? Sagittarians are renowned for not taking any crap from anyone. You're blunt as, you know, the proverbial when it comes to dealing with people. Not rude, but just blunt. Like, you say what you think. But when it comes to those really close, intimate relationships, the ones that really, really mean something to you, that for a lot of you, you had found yourself stuck in relationships where your identity was not really honoured. Like, that person was either always, you know, highly critical of you or trying to change you in some sort of way, blaming you for things. And this could be romantic relationships, or these could be friendships, or this could be family. You know, you take it as it resonates to you. And you found yourself putting, you know, the essential emotional core of your identity in a little box and kind of pushing it out of the way to be safe. And that's hard work. Not only is it hard work, it breeds resentment sometimes, sadness almost always. And like I said recently, it was like you were only just starting to see it, or the extent to which it had affected you. you know, so far down the line, so far away from it. Now you can kind of safely look back and contemplate it. And this feels like contemplation. You know, it seems pretty logical, actually, that as we come to the end of the year and we're ruminating on the beginning of the next year, that actually we would look back at where we were at this time last year and see how things have changed and see how different life is, because I think for a lot of you it's barely recognizable to where you were before. I just saw the World card the wrong way around in the deck there too. So where things were very, very difficult, you've made a success out of them now, just by being yourself, being able to be yourself. And then this Tower here, I think, is also talking about the beginning of the year, because it's clarified by, well, a card that I just threw on the floor, by the Devil in reverse. Because what the fuck? Slippery little devil. There, Devil in reverse, right? You have conquered a lot of fear. And I'm not saying that you were going around being terrified of the person that you loved, but there was a certain terror in walking away from what had been established for such a very long time. You know, it's almost like it didn't occur to you that you could do anything differently until the second that it just fell out of your mouth that you wanted to do it differently. And then you were like, holy shit, what have I just done? But then, you know, you rode that wave and you went with it. Let me let the Tower, please. And for a lot of you, look at this. That card that just flipped there was the Tower. For a lot of you, what you did was make incredible changes, the like of which you never thought you would make. I mean, you brought that Tower where it was needed. You know, you focused that energy on where it needed to go. And in doing so, pulled away from that thing that had kept you trapped for such a long time. How about the Tower in reverse, please? The Tower. It's dropping them on the floor. Wheel of Fortune. Now, some of you might have been in an energy of maybe it's kicking yourself a little bit that you stayed as long as you did. But actually, do you know what? This card here tells me you stayed exactly as long as you needed to learn the lesson. And when it was time, then you asserted yourself over it. And, you know, I'm not talking about aggression. I'm talking about emotional assertiveness. Like, I'm not getting what I need from this. In fact, this entire situation is not for me. And now I'm ready to change it. And change it you did. And, you know, look how your fortunes have improved off the back of it. It's absolutely delightful. And I really like the fact that you're sitting and you're thinking about this, because there's something really empowering about knowing that you can change your life in an instant. You know, my late husband said that to me once. He said, you can change your life with a thought. And I went, what? And then I thought about it and I was like, whoa, that's deep. I think I was about 17 at the time, so, you know. But he was right. You can change your mind, your life with a thought. You can change your life in an instant. But it's about the consequences of seeing that through, and the consequences were the things that had stopped you from doing it up until this point. But there came a point where you were like, I am willing to take on those consequences. I will deal with those moving forwards, and you did. Incredibly empowering stuff. Let's have a look for the lesson, although the lesson seems pretty clear to me. The lesson, however, of the energy that you are in now. The lesson for Sagittarius, please. We've got the Nine of Pentacles. That's beautiful. I love that for you. The lesson for Sagittarius, please. Another one on the floor. It's the Two of Swords in reverse. And what's the lesson? Oh, goodness. Seven of Cups and the Two of Pentacles. Beautiful. The lesson is really, really clear, Sagittarius. Right? The Nine of Pentacles shows you that actually where you were told you couldn't do it on your own, you absolutely can. And I feel like a lot of you were told that. You know, maybe it was Maybe it was a partner who was like, you're nothing without me, you can't get anything done without me. Maybe it was a best friend saying, you know, you've only got as far as you have because of all the support I've given you, or maybe a family member, something like that. And on some sort of level, you believed them for quite a long time, but a bit of you didn't as well. And there was this constant kind of tension and conflict and grinding of these two ideas together in, because they didn't fully resonate, you know. And what you have done is you have stood up and you have taken full responsibility for your life, and you have shown that you are more than capable of doing anything that you put your mind to. The lesson of the energy is to notice that, Sagittarius, right? Don't take it for granted. Because if you take it for granted, you might just forget about it. And it seems important that you keep this empowerment front and center moving forwards. We've got the Two of Swords in reverse, and I love this as well, because this means you're making decisions from an emotional place. This is often a willful refusal to consult with intuition or emotion when making decisions. And this way around, like, you know exactly what you want, and your heart knows exactly what it wants, and it goes after it. And then we have the Two of Cups. Mix those two cards up there. The Seven of Cups and the Two of Pentacles. The Seven of Cups is sometimes it talks about illusion, but it talks about actually having lots and lots of options. And there are lots of things that are open to you now. And the thing that I like about the Llewellyn deck for this is that this woman is not silhouetted. Oh shit, I've just noticed it's at the bottom of this deck here, look, to, you know, demonstrate my point beautifully. He is silhouetted. He is in the dark, and he's kind of blinded by all the options that are here. This woman is not. She sees everything for exactly what it is. And we'll see, the camera won't pick it up, but we've got all of those little marks there around her hand are butterflies. Symbols of transformation. You have transformed, and now you are able to see into all of the cups. You know exactly what is there, and you have the ability to pick them for yourself. And we've got this Two of Pentacles. There has been an emotional leveling out for you in this empowerment, right? Because for all you took all of, you know, the important emotional bits and stuck them in a box and kind of hid them away somewhere safe. It's quite painful not to be able to access those freely on a regular basis, and I feel like you do now. You've brought balance to this because your emotions are involved in it, you know, all the time. Where you were told they weren't allowed to be, now here they are. And, you know, whether this is because you've met someone else, if it was a romantic relationship, or whether you've been on your own and you've done it all on your own, you know, the same applies. Just the same for, you know, family members and friends and stuff like that. Like, you have shown that you can do it all by yourself, but the more important thing is the internal balancing that has gone on for you. You know, it's a hell of a gift for Christmas, that, right? I think that you should take some time to acknowledge it and feel some pride about it. Let's get you some advice. Some advice, please, Sagittarius. Oh. Ooh. Amazing. That's some advice for Sagittarius, please. Well, the Wheel of Fortune is now at the bottom of this deck. Oh shit, throwing things around again. It's underneath there. Ooh. The interesting thing is that you appeared in Aries' reading in the advice section there. Not you as a Sagittarius, but that Sagittarian energy. And they have appeared in yours, which is quite intriguing. I love when readings start to cross over with each other and cross-reference. It's absolutely amazing. But the cards that you've got here are, first and foremost, the Four of Wands. Oh, there it is. It's a beautiful card. It's a card of, oh, it is actually an Aries card as well. There you go. But it talks about home for me and the importance of home. It's often a card of celebration, and it can indicate weddings and things like that. But as advice, it's like building a foundation of home for you, you know, like keep that in your front and center. It doesn't have to be as it has been before, because you are showing up differently in the world now. And so whether that is alone or with someone else, or whether it is, you know, home in so much as, you know, friends and stuff around you, because I think that you've got quite a bit more selective this year about the people that you choose to spend time around. Quite a few people have left, exited stage left, and then others have come in, you know. This foundation that you're building for yourself now, it's a good one. And you should have some faith in your ability to do that for yourself. The issue was never you. The issue was the toxic situation that you found yourself in, and the toxic people that surrounded you. Right? And maybe that's been a lifelong thing. Maybe that's why you didn't recognize it for what it was, because maybe you just thought that people were like that. But actually, no, it was toxic. So then we have this Emperor here. And I like this for you, actually, Sagittarius, because I'm going to say exactly the same thing that I said to Aries, that your energy in that reading indicated for them. It's a maturation. So for Aries, the issue was learning to pick their battles, right? Aries go at things quite aggressively, and they always hit things like front on all the time. And the Temperance card came out, and it was like, look for, you know, balance. Pick your battles. You don't have to fight anything. Plug energy leaks, you know, all that sort of thing. But the Emperor being here for you also indicates a maturation of your fire energy. I read something once said that Aries was the spark, Leo was the bonfire, and Sagittarius is the wildfire. You have that ability to run wildly out of control and also run away from things, right? Very spontaneous, because you're, you know, mutable fire, always moving around. And I have to say, the Sagittarians that I know are zoomy as fuck, right? They just do everything fast. Too fast sometimes, right? With Emperor energy, you have the ability to plan and to strategize and to set goals and reach them, you know, instead of doing everything contemporaneous, just like now, spontaneous kind of stuff. As soon as a thought crosses your head, you go and do it right there. Okay? Kind of stepping back and considering where you want to be in 5 years' time, something like that, you know. The Emperor does not move until he's ready, and you don't have to move until you're ready. Now, we've discussed at times, Saggy, that you, just like Aries, have got this relentless march forward that you do. Both of you are fast. And a lot of the time, it's to stop you from looking backwards, because you don't like to look backwards, because you're running away from that. But part of the energy this year has seen both of you stop and take stock of things, and it doesn't need to be painful, right? It can be objective, and you are far away from the danger now. You're far enough away from the danger, from the toxicity, from all that sort of thing, that you can take a moment to sit back and look at it and go, that's where I came from, where do I want to go? Put a bit, just a little bit of structure into how you move forward. It's like, this is a really good time of year to use that energy to do it, you know. We're about to go into 2021. None of us actually know what the fuck is going to happen, but we can set our own personal goals, and they don't have to be on what's going on outside of you, you know. They can be internal goals. If you know you've got things that you need to work through, then maybe stop running away from it and make an appointment with yourself. I'm going to kind of sit with this a little bit and look into it and see what it's about, you know. But definite maturation. And then we've got the Two of Cups and the Nine of Cups. Now, I really like this, because like, I I don't jump to the romantic, you know, soulmate relationship kind of interpretation of the Two of Cups, because for me it talks about a partnership of sorts, and this doesn't have to be just one person. I'm not talking about polyamory, I'm just saying it doesn't have to be romantic for a start. It could just be how you relate to other people, right? Because there's a great deal of intimacy implied by the Two of Cups here, and in some ways that's been missing from your life for a little bit, particularly since you left that old situation, but it seems to be coming back in, and it doesn't have to be with a romantic partner, but it can be, and it, you know, whichever way it applies to you, finding new intimacy with the new people that are now around you that are proving themselves to be worthy of that is quite important. We've got the Nine of Cups that's come out with it, and this is about taking responsibility for your own emotional space, right? Not looking to blame anybody else, not looking for somebody else to make you happy. You know the drill, you know how this works now, you know. But the people that are around you now are people that you can be intimate with. They are people that you can put your vulnerability, because that's the thing, into, and it won't get abused. Your judgment is pretty good now. Like, you've had almost a year away from, you know, whatever it was that you left behind, and it's shown you a different way. Whether it's with a person or whether it's been entirely on your own, it's shown you a different way of showing up in the world, and put your energy into that. Like, enjoy it, show up for it, in the fullest possible sense, because it's a reap what you sow kind of situation here, but in the best possible way. Right, I'm going to leave it there, Saggy. Know that I love you all very, very much, and I will see you soon.